and the vac is back. Nice one. I'm Val. I'm joined always by my main man, the Dancing Nate, over there.
Hey,
Where
do you
is
know
he?
what? Yeah, I'm coming back. Working my way back. Episode 69.
69.
Hey!
I was wondering if you were going to bring that up, actually.
Yeah, I can be one of those
I thought it
dickheads
was
at like the
50-50.
laundromat or whatever. You know, they call out the 69. They're just like, "Hey!" Get
Is that
really
right?
excited
Does that
about
happen,
it.
does it?
Have you not heard someone get excited about 69?
Well, yeah, obviously I've heard someone get excited about 69, but I've never heard, I've never been at the butcher shop and someone's up for 69.
Man,
Never had
they
that.
take 69 out of the deck of numbers
I'm sure they do.
because people can't handle it. I think this episode is going to pop off in more ways than one
Right, just because of the number.
because people are going to be Googling it.
The number?
They're 69ing in YouTube all the time.
On YouTube?
Yeah, they'll just be like podcast 69. You know,
Bloody hell. Right, so this better be a ripper then, right?
Yeah.
That's what you got to be thinking, right?
we have to start off strong.
We have.
Have we?
Well, yeah.
Okay,
69. Wait.
Do you remember when you found out what a 69 was? Or
Sure,
is it
but
just
it made perfect sense when you look at the numbers. Yep.
Oh, no, but it makes perfect sense when you look at the numbers. But I was so green or sheltered by my parents. It's hard to introduce a 69 to a child. So, I don't know how. So I recall being in year 8, first year of high school, and I had a little Street Fighter Ken and a little Street Fighter Chung-Li. Was that the Asian, the blue one?
Street Fighter. Yep.
Yeah, from Street Fighter. And I don't know why I had them. They're just like little toys. And then I don't remember who the bloke was, but he inverted them and was like, sort of thought it was hilarious, right? He was like, yeah, man, you know what I mean.
Someone's got an older brother.
Yes, exactly. Well, I had an older brother, but he never explained it to me.
Nah.
I had no fucking idea what he was talking about. I was
Right.
like, bro, I could tell it was something saucy.
Right.
By the way he was acting. He was very excited, like the guy at the butcher shop.
Yep.
And I sort of got hit, but I mean, it doesn't make any sense because in, sex ed, they don't get to that level of advancement.
Obviously not.
No, you just,
Especially not in the Catholic high school system. They're not going to be like, here's some other options if you get bored by the regular way.
So how does anyone find out?
What do you mean? How does anyone find out?
Well, you don't recall how you found out?
Older brothers. But I don't know if my older brother, because I have an older brother. I don't think
So this
he
is just a rite of
Right.
passage passed down from older brothers to younger brothers where they explain this concept.
Well, there's a bunch of things we don't talk about what we do, usually in a private setting. On my old podcast, we once discussed toilet paper wiping techniques because it's something that we don't remember being taught it because we were too young. And we all have a different way of doing it, sort of. And it was fascinating because we don't talk about that kind of stuff. And I'm always looking to find topics that we don't talk about regularly to figure out what's going on here. That's what I'm about.
So obviously there's the fold and the scratch.
No, that's not where it ends, mate.
No,
that's just the beginning.
give me the flavor for what's to come.
Okay, well, for example, and this was the example that my fellow podcaster made at the time. There was two other people. One of them said, and then you get your paper ready, whether you're a scruncher or a folder, who gives a shit at this point. Once you've got it, are we standing up or are we remaining seated?
Oh.
Are you standing up or remaining seated?
Depends.
Does it?
Yeah, it depends on how I'm feeling.
You mix it up?
I think if I really need to get under there, I stand up. I don't know. Now that I think about it, I don't know what I do more of. I think I do.
It could be a mix. You could start with the sit. You could end with the stand.
I think I stand up.
There you go. So although you think that's normal, quote unquote, the other person who was actually Tunge would disagree because he couldn't believe it, what we were talking about. Like, what are you standing up for? Who's standing up? Who's standing up? And I said, I stand up sometimes. Now it's because of him, because of his influence and him saying, mate, you just stay there, right? Then there's the, maybe I should be doing that sort of enters your mind. And maybe you do a bit of this and a bit of that. But I'm a predominant stander.
Oh, mate, my junk is so voluptuous that I think I have to stand up.
Yeah. Understood.
Yeah.
So that was one of the topics that we talked about it's something that we, again, just like the 69 thing, it's set in a private setting and you don't talk about it.
Well, some things you just find out the hard way. I mean, I don't know how, well, I guess who knows how you figure out about masturbation, but you just do. Maybe it's like a biological urge or something. But in year 8, obviously maybe I was slow to the party. I don't know if it was the same guy or a different guy, but he also thought it was funny when you had, you buy a sausage roll, recess or whatever. It's in that plastic wrapping, right?
Yep.
He was sliding it around in his hand and thought it was hilarious.
Wow.
Okay.
It's one of the best jokes of the year, if we're being honest. It's got to be gag of the year.
And I remember being a little bit sort of like, why is this guy again? I could tell it was something I should know more about than I do. Yeah,
and you felt probably a bit silly for not knowing, right? A bit embarrassed even.
Yes.
But the funny thing is that he is feeling something as well, something different. He might have known that you don't know. This is just so he can be like, I'm the one who I'm the keeper of the knowledge on this.
I know about 69s, know about masturbation.
I know about
I'm so
that.
advanced.
I'm so advanced. No one's on my level.
Oh, mate. Hey,
I used to just so we get this out of the way.
Please.
I used to think that masturbation was you would just, get excited, right? As in,
like you're watching the footy
to attention. No, to
attention. Okay, yes.
And then I thought that was it. I thought once it got to that spot, right? I got a stiffy essentially.
Yeah.
Once it got there,
you're like, I'm masturbating.
I did it. And then it would go, I go like, yeah, that was. Well, I didn't think I was masturbating. It was just what I used to do.
Yeah, okay. But it's hilarious when you're about
There's
that
more
age.
to it than that, but I'm not willing to disclose it at this point.
I was wondering how far you were going to go with that.
I could go further.
Yeah. Well, feel free.
Okay. I think that there was no actual touching actually involved. It was me just sort of having a feel of my own legs that did the work.
Yeah, okay. It's essentially feeling your own like inner thigh.
And then once I got there, I was just like, pretty happy with that. And then that was it. Until I figured out what the rest was.
Yeah, and look, I don't know about, something like that. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I've never really delved down into. But you're right, because there was a time before I ejaculated, yes, that there was a stiffy involved.
Well, of course.
I didn't really know what was going on with it.
Yeah, sometimes at inappropriate times.
Yeah. You've had some awkward times. You'd be like,
you might cover it with a book or something.
Yeah. I remember one time I was in maybe year 9, maybe, and the teacher was like, "Matt, come up here." It was an urgent.
Yeah,
you can't when you're that age. I wasn't like excited. I just had a hard on. Like
exactly.
you just get.
You don't know what
hard-ons.
it is.
You don't. You just regularly have hard-ons. Just no. It's like, oh fuck, you're like, I have to stand up right now. This is not a good time. And we were so into boxer shorts as well. All the cool kids, satin
Hilarious.
boxers.
Gosh, what a time.
Oh, disgusting.
What a time.
And that would only help the situation because there's it's like a satin feel in your pants. Like if anything, I needed to like lock it down.
Yeah.
I need to lock it down with some cock jocks. Yeah, I need to like get some stability in there.
Yep.
30th of December. September even.
30th of September. That's already happened.
That's happened.
Right.
It was International Podcast Day.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we can celebrate that now after the fact. Are we celebrating it or do other people celebrate it? How does this work?
There's actually a website for it. I'll send it to you. I purposely didn't look at it because
Because you wanted to have a look at it.
I started scrolling.
Today.
There's a lot of
right?
Yeah. Let's have a look because it was International Podcast Day, and we are a
so
podcast.
let's talk about it.
And this is our 69th podcast. It's perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Purpose. International Podcast Day is September 30. Happy whatever it is, and is an international celebration of the power of podcasts. The celebration is a great opportunity to connect fellow podcasters, podcast listeners, podcast enthusiasts, and leaders in the podcasting industry. That's us.
That's us. That's what I
Help
thought.
spread the word by telling your friends, sharing the celebration on your podcast and social media feeds, and using hashtag International Podcast Day. Don't do that now. It's too late. There are several ways to get involved and plenty to benefit from by taking part in International Podcast Day. See our suggestions below. Oh, there's some suggestions.
There are some. This is why there's a list of suggestions.
Oh, Jesus. Which one am I reading from here? Because there's two lists. You got the list which is get involved with International Podcast Day. That's us.
Yeah, that is us.
Benefits of being part of International Podcast Day. I think we can skip that.
Yeah, let's not worry about that. Let's not worry about the benefits. Let's get involved.
Yeah. This is step one. It's it's a lot of steps. Use hashtag International Podcast Day to engage with others worldwide talking about the event.
Look, we're a bit late, but
Hashtag
it's
International
still
Podcast Day.
There's got to be some lag, right?
Yeah. Grab your mic and camera and
Done.
Ask someone about their favorite podcast, share their response on social media. Ask someone. All right, well,
I like the Vacuous perspective.
I'm asking you
Yeah.
about your favorite podcast.
I really like the Vacuous perspective.
I'm sharing that on social media. Join in numerous events in your region and around the world. Did we check it for any?
I doubt it.
We probably would have had to organise that.
Yeah.
Promote by using Tehe official banner image on your website.
Okay, so the official banner, there's some materials below. So there's a download. There's promo material.
Yeah, you grab all that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
so
that's all good.
We can actually put the...
Really just promoting them, aren't we? I mean, I get it. It's for... They're trying to do a bit of circle promo.
Okay.
Here we go. Play the International Podcast Day audio or video promo on your show.
Okay, we have to do that.
Are we doing that?
I don't know what it is, but if you're prepared just to
I'm doing that. Hang on a sec. I'll just do that now.
I'll watch yours.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a 30-second promo. Let's watch it on YouTube. Okay, you can see that?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Playing. Oh, God. Hang on a sec.
This isn't as good as I thought.
This is just the steps. I should have just...
Oh, this is rubbish.
Okay. That sounded like an AI.
It was very robot-y, wasn't it? I reckon we could do better. We should do our own promo material for next year.
Right, that's a good idea. Well, we were going to do the pictures, right, with the quotes. The quotes are really good. We need more quotes.
Okay, yeah, all right. We need someone else to do that. We need someone else that listens to it, to maybe in YouTube, in the comment, put a quote that you like and we'll turn it into a picture.
That's a good idea.
If you ever see one, if you ever hear something you think like you can take me out of context, make me sound a bit silly.
Yeah.
Or Val says silly things all the time.
All the time. There should be thousands, really.
Okay,
That's probably a good one right there. Yeah. Val says stupid things all the time. There's thousands of them.
Okay, so this week I've been a little bit sad, a little bit blue, because I'm surrounded by death.
Yeah.
So Albus Dumbledore died.
Well, yeah. Were you close with Albus?
I mean, I watched all the Harry Potter movies just earlier this year.
Yeah, but he was only in a couple of them because the previous Dumbledore had already died.
I know, and I didn't really worry about that at the time. Actually, I did tell you they swapped out the Dumbledores, and they expected me not to realise.
They didn't swap him out. He died.
Yeah, but they swapped out the actor.
They had to. He died.
Yeah.
It's not exactly swapping out the actor if the guy dies. It's not like, oh, come on, one more movie is not going to hurt.
But they pretended, they just took me for an idiot. They pretended like I wouldn't notice. I knew
they
that
did the
there
same
was
thing in The Matrix. The Oracle died, and they just chucked another lady in.
It's hilarious. I didn't know that, but
and they just do it in one line because in The Matrix, she's just like, I could change my form or some shit. And it's like, yeah, right, whatever, it's fine. So Dumbledore's a wizard. I mean, you wouldn't have been happy if Dumbledore said, "Oh, Harry, I know I look a bit different, but it's just a spell that I've cast on myself to make me look slightly different." Like, that would be a shit line to put in the movie just because they changed actors. They're just going to try and get away with it. And he probably ended up doing more movies than the OG Dumble. I don't know if that's true.
The OG
when did
only
he
did the first
over?
Two. He did Philosopher's Stone.
There you go.
Chamber of Secrets.
He's more of... He's like the series Dumbledore.
He's the OG Dumbledore.
Well, he's not OG Dumbledore.
Well, not Sir Michael Gambon, but Richard Harris was the first one. He's the OG.
Yeah. He's the OG, yeah.
So he must have been old when they cast him because he's playing an old man.
Yeah, you sometimes get an old man.
So the casting people...
But by the way, just quickly on that.
Yeah.
The Emperor, who was only physically seen in like Return of the Jedi for the first time, was played by the same bloke who played him in the prequels and the sequels. So he's been in the whole series, right? The Emperor. And he was like 30, 35 or something when they first cast him. So when you see the one in Return of the Jedi, he was a young man.
Why did they cast someone so young to play?
Either they had tremendous foresight and they knew he'd have to make a movie in 50 years' time, or they were really confident in their makeup and stuff because he looked like an old man, like straight up.
He did.
You couldn't believe that it was the same actor in Return of the Jedi as it was in Phantom Menace when he's like, "Oh, young Anakin, we will watch your career with great interest." You know, like it's the same bloke, and who's the Emperor? It's quite amazing that they did that.
Yeah, it blows me away.
And
you have to know when you cast an old guy and you're planning on doing 8 movies.
Yeah.
You have to know that at some point you have to swap him out.
They do a medical.
Yeah, they would, but he's not going to make it. Chances are he's not going to survive to the end of because they started in 2001. When was the last movie?
Oh, maybe I don't know.
Not that long ago, right? I don't know.
Well, yeah, long ago. Let's say at least 2010.
It's a bit like electing Biden for another 4 years. You know that there's a chance that he's just going to...
Well, it's actually worse because he's got to do more years than Biden.
Yes. No, yes, definitely.
Oh, the film
same
adaptation.
Kind of
okay, so
it's
Harry
the same
Potter
thing.
began
You're committing for a certain
year?
period of time. Harry Potter started in 2001.
And it ended in 2011. That's when they released the final movie. They were probably done shooting it before then, but 10 years. Let's say 10 years. You got to be on the film set for 10 years.
That's a lot of cash. It's a lot of cold, hard cash. So, I mean, that was sad. He's gone. And I had no idea, but are you a fan of Top Gear?
Yeah, sure. Cars. I mean, I'm not a big car guy. I liked watching the races and stuff do the really fast lap in the reasonably priced car, that segment where they get their guest to go around this famous track that they built. I think they built it.
And this is the test track, right?
Yeah, the Top Gear track. But they do it in like really like runabout cars. And they just gun it.
The final corner of the test track is named Gambon Corner.
Oh, after him.
After him, because he rode a Suzuki Liana so aggressively that went around the last corner on 2 wheels.
Oh, sweet.
I don't know if you can get footage of that.
Oh, man, I'd love to find that.
Maybe we'll add it.
That must have been ages ago, though.
Well, if you find that, we can swing back to it. But what else? Okay, so that's Yeah, that's some of the death. Daniel Andrews is resigned. That's a political death.
Yeah, I've got the footage. Yeah, Daniel Andrews did resign.
All right, give us.
Let's
I
have
mean,
a
that
look
was
at,
that was sad. I mean,
Gambon
I thought he'd
doing a
already
lap.
been slayed. To be honest, I thought he'd been vanquished a long time ago.
So this is Sir Michael Gambon
I'm watching.
gets a Top Gear test track corner named after him. So they show that I'm showing a bit of the lap just to get into it. It's 5 minutes.
Is that a Suzuki
03.
Liana? Is it?
I guess so.
I've never heard of that.
5 minutes.
Look, he looks
03,
old there.
pressing play. He does.
Man, he must have been thrashing this thing.
No, I'm not. I didn't even know there was a camera there. You do look quite scared. Tyres? Oh,
No, he's going hard.
you're very close to the tyres there. You're supposed to be. Yeah, no, well, it was
He's got less to lose because
He's off
so
the road.
old. Oh, mate.
Oh, hell yeah. That's the end of the track. That's where they cross the line. So he's just jumped the curb.
Yeah, nice. He would have been shitting himself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's done a bit of damage to the car there. You can see the right rear view mirror has been damaged.
Mate, that's what happens when you get a wizard to drive a Suzuki. He does magical
man.
things with it.
He was gunning it, and he was an old man going for it. Respect that. Probably had a couple of goes on that and then just banged around the corner. Went for it.
And then I was reading another article about a mass extinction that's predicted caused by an extreme heat wave. It's going to wipe out all humans and mammals. Right? So I'm starting to see a trend, right? We got Sir Michael Gambon goes down.
Right. And you think this is...
I think,
signifying
Daniel
some
Andrews
sort of
resigns.
message?
Yeah,
Right.
where... And then,
okay, yes, I see.
Then I was watching death diving, actually. I know we've seen a few videos, but there's one more I got to show you. Let me get this up. I'll send
What's
it to you.
death diving?
It's a new sport.
Sounds terrifying.
It's not actually as scary as you'd think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so
Where'd you put it?
I just put in general. Because we like new sports. We've watched a couple of new sports. Slap fighting.
But what am I watching here? Not the whole thing.
Oh, it's 7 minutes. Yeah, flavour for it. I think everyone does one jump.
Yeah, I just don't know where we're going to start from. Let's start from 23.
Come on.
Okay, wait. I need to get you.
1.5 gainer with the 540 twist.
So apparently you just have to do a bit of a belly flop.
Bad.
And this is the start of the final. We
What's
have
the
9
aim?
more athletes here.
9 more to go. Everybody's only jumping once.
You just kind of flop around in there. I don't know. You get scored on your... You do like a horsey into the water.
That was, the landing, don't know if he made it, but everything before that.
It was beautiful.
But apparently this has been a sport since 2018.
Let's see here. Boom.
Sport in very loose terms.
Yeah, the Ocho thing. This is the same thing that was running dog surfing. Oh, he's just gone for what? Triple backflip. And what's the point? What's the deal with the landing? You're not meant to do a nice dive at the end, obviously, like an Olympic diver. You're not meant to do a no splashy.
You pretty much do a
Splashies
horsey.
are fine.
Yeah. Yes. No, you want splash. It's like a
Splashies.
belly flop that you turn into a
Do a
horse.
trick into.
Yeah.
This, I'm calling 9.8. I'm just calling
Oh, so he's doing a horsey into the ground to finish, into the water. He's finishing with a horsey.
Jesus.
And they
Is
reckon
this where it's come?
that when they do a good horsey, they say that they've stuck the landing.
4 has
That's it.
jumped.
Oh, yeah.
9.4 from Mr.
Hey, how can we get the volume a little bit louder on like your end?
That's going to be tough to beat.
Okay.
That is
How are these commentators?
impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, next up.
They reckon that was
on the
impressive.
books, Anders Rocks from Norway.
Digging the jorts.
It's Anders.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
been
so it's a
rocking them
Norwegian
for a few
sport
years
as well,
now.
I hear.
Never look
I'm sure.
So this guy's a Norwegian man
I
competing.
can't hear you now.
He's a Norwegian man
Yeah.
competing in a
He's going to put his palm on
Norwegian
He's telling
sport.
us what he's going to do ahead of time. He's putting his
He's
palm on there.
showing the judges.
He's calling his shot for some
with
reason.
intent.
Yeah, pay attention.
He's doing a big run up.
I reckon I could do this.
Oh no!
What happened? Why? Oh no!
1080. Again, never for me.
Hand drag 1080.
And
Never been seen. That's one for the history books.
The creativity.
For the judges.
Well, they lost their mind over the triple backflip. Apparently, that's never been done.
Compare that to the
Oh my
triple
God.
right?
Is there a set height? There must be a set height then for this.
And into fourth place. And now,
Yeah, he didn't do very well with the landing there. I mean, I've been watching this sport for all of 25 seconds, but I'm pretty sure he didn't stick the landing.
This guy looks like a bit of a tool.
Oh, good finish though. Good
Good
distance as well. Like he went for distance.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a part of it.
To beat a 9.4.
Was it good enough? It wasn't good enough to beat triple backflip, that's for sure.
We're no judges, but
Do people train for this?
Yeah, people are training for this, mate. Look at him. Look at the poise.
Imagine if an actual
Execution.
diver came and did this.
That is nice.
They would just smash it.
Wouldn't they?
Don't you just give up on
You
the
just got to be a
Olympics and
gymnast,
just
right?
yeah? Like this guy's like 20 years old.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, but he's the best.
I'm sure he
ever
has no
been.
professional training.
He's at his peak.
He's done some YouTube videos, I'm sure.
That was pretty cool.
It's a whiskey flip.
Man, I'd just do, you know,
A
this.
whiskey flip. Have you ever seen a whiskey flip in this competition before? He hasn't. He just.
They
It
probably
has a
make
name,
they probably
but he's
make
never
it up
seen it
as they
before.
go. Yeah, they're just. We should
No, that's a
commentate
whiskey
this
flip.
and make up our own names for things.
Stuck that.
Yeah.
That's going to be close. And
I don't think you can beat whiskey flip for that one.
Jumper, Christoph Fotanberg, 8.82.
We should turn the commentary off and we'll do our own one.
9.48.
And there we have it with the landing, right? He was perfectly.
I think we should score them as well.
It's just going
All right, I'm going to mute him. Okay, so who's this? It had his name up. Don't know his name.
Oh, a big toe touch.
A toe touch into a swimming duck.
A spinny thing.
A spinny thing? We got to
He
put the
got
commentary
some-
back on.
he got some
A
good spinnies.
a spinny thing. Wow.
Yeah,
Actually,
so
that could have been a
that's the
German
thing.
dentist at the end there. Not sure.
Oh, this guy's boot scooting. Oh, he's firing.
Getting
He's firing up the crowd.
behind
Yeah,
him,
the
that's
crowd
what you
look. They look
want, yeah.
excited.
And they are fired up. You can see all
It's a
of
young
them down
crowd,
there.
isn't it?
It's a very young crowd. Average age of about 24, I hear.
Oh,
He's done the all business off to work Monday, which is the feet in the hand in the pockets move. Very rare. Never seen that before in this competition ever. All business, this guy. Oh,
great
actually,
extension, actually. Great extension.
He's doing a double leg touch. He's doing the Val.
It was more of a cannonball at the end there, though. That's not
I
official.
like
That's
that.
not legal.
But I do like it. This guy is lean.
He was just saying a couple of prayers to the big one upstairs.
Yeah, make sure he's got his back on this one. He's getting all fired up as well.
You can't really
He's
go
gonna
wrong
do the
though.
backflip.
Oh,
Good
okay.
splash.
All right. Oh, that's like a yoga move for sure. And then into a headache.
Oh, I really liked the forcefulness of the impact there that he really put in. He put a little bit more in when he went for the impact here. Oh, yeah. He really gave it to the water. That's what you want to see. Some of the boats are leaving.
Great
Must
intensity.
Must be time to
Yeah, I think
bounce.
it's over, yeah. So, yeah,
Oh, it
this
is
is what I
over.
mean. See the trend that I'm seeing? So, death diving just keeps
What's
getting
the
grimmer
trend?
and grimmer. Well, death.
Oh, right. You think this is part of the mass extinction thing?
Yeah. And
Is that
then,
the replay of the best one of the day? I don't know.
I actually don't know who wins.
I think they just showed that. Yeah. No, they'd already had because they had the numbers the whole time. That guy never got touched. Old Ryan Beak with the backflips earlier. He got it done.
Looks like full lumbar liberation when he extends the back like that. That looks quite nice. Like, I'm a little bit jealous. I'm leaning back now. I would like to do a little full lumbar liberation backflip.
How high do you reckon they're jumping off there?
8 meters.
Looks to be higher than that.
I don't know, 10 meters.
We jumped off a 10-meter diving board for a birthday party of mine when I was very young.
You did it.
Yep.
How'd you go?
It was scary.
That's a big one. 10 meters is big.
Hurts your feet when you hit the water, even if you do it right.
I haven't gone off 10 meters before. I wussed out. I was up there once.
Yeah. Have you done the 3-meter springboard?
Yeah, I think so. But you didn't do a dive. High. You didn't do a dive off that, did you? We
just jumped off it.
Yeah.
No, we just jumped off it. We weren't going to dive into the water. No, I wasn't risking that. That 180 rotate. We were young kids. We were probably only 9 or 10 years old.
I reckon I could do it.
What, dive?
I could dive off, I think.
Yeah, I reckon if you just jumped the right way, your head will bring you down properly, right?
There is a risk of over-rotating, though.
Yeah, that's what I'd be worried about. But what's the real risk? You're going to fall into a pool.
Man, the slap, the waters.
But you'll live. You're not going to die or anything.
No,
I mean, if you went 10 meter off a thing and it was like, look, it's either you hit water or you hit land, well, then you could die. But if it's 10 meters definitely going to water, yeah, you might have a sore back, might be a bit red, but you're going to live.
If you do an absolutely clean face plant, I think you can do some damage.
Yeah, but you'll be okay. People do that for funsies at parties usually.
Yeah. To be honest, when I saw some of that death diving, I had an appetite for it. I just kind of started watching diving fails.
Yeah, you wanted to see people flop.
Yeah, I was talking
what
Red
you're missing
Bull.
there in the sport, what you're missing in death diving is that what it's called?
Yeah.
What you're missing is damage, because the horsey is a very good way to create maximum splash without any chance of pain. Same with a regular bombie. You know, you're landing on your bum and a bit of your back. And it's all good news bears. Landing on your face, landing on your back. It's not
a bit
fun
different,
at all.
isn't it?
No, it's not fun at all. Well, if you're doing a horsey like they were when they were finishing their moves off, if you're doing horsies, the first thing to touch the water is your feet and then your hands. Beautiful. Love that. Do it all day.
Yep. Break the surface tension.
Oh, so
Slide
good.
right in.
And a lot of those pros, you didn't see it in the video, in the Ocho video. But they've all got coins in their pockets.
Really?
No, I just made it up. To break the surface tension so that when they're about to hit the water, they'll chuck a little coin down first.
That's got to be a myth, right? I've heard that before. Is that true?
That's true.
It's true.
That's true.
So, but do they fall out of your pocket, or do you have to sprinkle them in the air before you go?
Yeah, it's got to land between sort of, half a second before you hit the deck. Yeah.
Because I would have thought if I was skydiving, right? Just imagine.
Yes. Get a helmet on first.
Pop a helmet on, pop a parachute on even.
Get both of those things.
And then if I drop a $1 coin,
yes,
that's going straight up. I'm going to be I'm going to be going if I'm relying on this coin falling through the air faster than I am.
Yep.
Because I think that, I don't understand. I know that if I'm in space, then we would fall at the same rate. But I think relative to my size, I don't have much surface area compared to the coin relative to its mass. Are you just saying
you're more aerodynamic than a coin?
Well, when you take into account the effects of gravity and air resistance, yeah, I think I am. I'm not more aerodynamic, but overall.
You're moving faster?
Yeah, my terminal velocity is faster than the coin, I think.
Right.
I haven't tested it.
Haven't tested it.
I've only been terminal velocity once.
Right. And how was that? It sounds bad.
I was terrified.
Well, it's got terminal. Dead. Dead velocity. What does that mean? Velocity you have to go to die. Yeah, terminal velocity is just the max velocity.
A maximum. But maximum belly flopping, if I had gone head first, all of a sudden, my terminal velocity goes up.
What? How does it go up?
Because I become more aerodynamic. So you've seen people, you've seen people when you're in a big group skydiving. You can go and you can visit people when you're skydiving. Like you can
not when they're doing it,
forwards.
right? Hey,
So,
how are you?
so if they're below you in the sky and you're both doing the belly flop, they will stay below you. Like say they're 10 meters below. But if you want to go see them, you just tip forward and you become more aerodynamic. You drop down to their level, pull the belly flop back up, and then you're holding hands and doing everything you want to do up there.
Great.
So, I mean, you can still maneuver.
Is this once the chute's been deployed?
Nah, this is when you're belly flopping.
Just you keep saying belly flopping, but that's not what you're doing. That's not what you're talking about.
No, what's the position? You have your arms out.
Yeah,
you're sprawled. You're sugar gliding.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah, I've seen Power Rangers the movie, so I get it.
And even Iron Man, when he sort of tucks his arms in and he goes head first, like a little torpedo.
Yeah, but that's a movie. He's also got thrusters in his hands, so he actually does that for two reasons. Because he's actually putting his arms down by his side so he can push forward. Yeah. He's got little jets on his legs and arms because that's totally the future. They're already doing that.
Are they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's flying dudes.
I think I saw a flying dude. I wasn't sure.
They use them on Navy ships and stuff to board vessels. It's quite crazy.
I was talking to a submarine marine.
Oh, a submariner.
A submariner. Is that whatever they're called?
That's what they're
an
called.
army man.
He's a Navy man then.
A Navy man that's a submarine Navy man.
Yep.
I was fascinated because I was asking about the new nuclear subs we're getting and even just the Collins class ones that we have now. So when they pull those...
diesel, I'm pretty sure.
Do that? Is that what it is? Oh. But when they pull those things out of the water... The propeller is top secret information, top secret. So they cover it up. You can get, you get in massive trouble if you try and photograph that thing because if you get the exact dimensions of the propeller, apparently they can identify the boat in the water really easily.
Interesting.
So that they keep that information under lock and key. So when they overpull the boat out of the water, they cover that bad boy up.
Which wouldn't be very often.
No, it wouldn't be very often, would it?
No. And they probably wouldn't be doing it willy-nilly either in the middle of nowhere. Well, in the middle of somewhere, actually. And the idea of the nuclear subs is they'll just stay in the water for 38 years or something, running on a mini nuclear reactor.
Yeah, well, right? Diesel, they have to come up all the time because diesel is combustion. It's a combustion engine. You need air. So they have to come up. They're like a big whale. This is what he described to me. I don't know how long it is that a Collins class can stay underwater. But I've
always said that submarines are just whales.
Yeah, they are exactly. But they're literally like whale. How often does a whale have to come up? Like once a day or something?
I don't know.
Do you know how big a blue whale is?
Yeah, I've seen one.
They're so big.
I haven't seen one. I was going to tell if you said, "Oh, have you?" I was going to tell you a story, but it was all going to be made up about an encounter I had with a blue whale.
Oh, that would. And
it was really just
brilliant.
To buy you time so you could Google some whale stuff. But I don't know how often they come up. Let's guess. Let's say a few hours.
I've got the answer. They've got the ability to hold their breath for up to 1 hour.
Yeah, 1 hour, and then you got to come up. So with dolphins, they come up quite regularly, or is that just them when they're traveling?
I think, and for fun, I think they come up quite regularly. They couldn't do an hour, surely not.
But they can hunt undersea for a little while.
Yes. So a Collins class can stay submerged for 70 days.
Well, why do they have to come up?
Well,
just for fuel?
I thought it was.
Because you were alluding earlier to saying it's like a whale.
Like a whale.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 70 days. But how often does a nuclear?
You think it's going to be more? You think they're just fueling up?
Yeah, no, they can stay under for way longer. I thought. It says 14 days. I don't know what I'm talking about. What? My Submariner doesn't know shit. It says this present record is 14 days. You know, to tell you the truth, I'm misspelling things in my Google search. Like,
I don't think that should matter.
and it says no submarine surfaces to take in air. He told me the snorkel was something like...
This says how long can submarines stay underwater? Nuclear submarine can stay in operation for 3 to 4 months at a time.
Yeah, okay. In operation.
And the nuclear power allowed submarines to run for about 20 years without needing to refuel.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. 20 years. Can you imagine filling your car up?
And there's a headline here. It could be wrong, but it says the nuclear submarine that can stay underwater for 25 years.
Whoa.
Who's signing up?
Shit, man. It's hilarious.
Imagine just growing old on a ship that you've always lived on. There's actually I've been playing this new game. I wasn't going to talk about it, but it's called Starfield. And it's sort of set 300 years in the future. Earth's completely fucked, like it's a wasteland. And humans live on Mars and other planets and other systems. There are cities in probably, 10 systems, right? With humans, and then there's just outposts everywhere. And you come across this one ship who were the first to leave, like the first colony ship to leave, but they didn't have the grav tech that we have now. So it's taken them 300 years to get to where they were meant to go.
Oh, so
and they've arrived there, and it's all populated because the people had better grav drives in the future, 200 years later and stuff, and they just zipped around and got there and whatnot, right? So you meet all these people who are on the ship who have only ever known that ship in their 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th generation.
That's fucking nutty, but that's kind of what we are.
Their entire lives on that one ship.
Yeah.
What, you're saying that's like us?
On Earth.
Yeah, a little bit. Unless of course the craziest things are true.
Yeah.
Because we're
we're stuck on one vessel.
One vessel.
We're a one vessel civilization.
And we're chucking shit out there though. We're still chucking shit out there.
Not much. We're trying.
But we're throwing stuff out there.
Yeah, we're spewing a little bit of debris, some junk.
Yep. Space junk. But in the game, I only found this out today, there's a whole bunch of historical sites you can visit. So there's at least 10 places on Earth that are still there, major buildings and stuff. And on the moon is still got the Apollo 11 site is still there, right? So it's all this cool little Easter eggs and stuff that you can find because it starts you off the game and you're in some other system. And the first thing you want to do is be like, well, let's go to the, my local. Let's go check out Earth, land in Australia somewhere and check it out. And it's just all desert, even the oceans. It's your mass extinction event times a bajillion.
Yeah, okay.
It's a barren place.
I reckon we should make a game that is only Easter eggs. So there's no mission. So imagine you create a Google Earth, but there's no civilization. But you still put maybe Göbekli Tepe in there.
Right. You just want to make a new Google Earth. I think this is a great idea, but I don't know where the Easter eggs are coming into it. Is that an Easter egg, is it? Yeah,
because there's no other civilization. And maybe in a cave you could have a cave painting, but it's the size of Earth and you have no transport. Yeah. So you just have to walk, and you might have an energy. So you basically you're a hunter-gatherer. But there's nothing really fun about what you're doing. You just live. You
just described a new game that people are going nutty for.
What is it?
I can't remember what it's called, but it's called Squirrel Hunter or something. Maybe you should play it.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a game where you have to hunt squirrels to give to your like wife who's just a pile of bones in your house, and you adorn her with squirrel skins. And there's all this cryptic stuff in the game, and I don't want to ruin it for anybody who wants to play it. I think it's like a $7 game. I think it takes you about an hour to finish, and apparently it's fucked up. It's similar to that Doom mod that I might have told you about a while ago, My House, which if you haven't seen that video, it's good homework. If you watch this Doom video, you'll love it. It's your Easter egg game.
Okay, but what's the Doom thing, sorry?
Wow.
Or are you saying the squirrel hunting's my Easter egg game?
No, I'd say the Doom one is better.
The Doom one, okay, because I'm not I've seen a lot of Doom. I played a little bit of Doom. I've seen some.
You probably played the first 2 levels 100 times.
Yeah,
That's my Doom experience.
Yeah, I've seen some. I tried to get the girls naked. I've been to the strip show.
What?
Doom.
Doom?
It's the strip show. Aren't you in a...
What? What?
Is it not the game Doom?
There's no strip show in Doom.
What am I thinking of?
It's just demons.
I'm thinking of Duke Nukem.
Duke
Nukem is the Doom guy. Wait, what?
Nah, Duke Nukem's not the Doom guy. Duke Nukem's Duke Nukem.
Oh, okay. So what's Doom? That's a multiplayer, right?
Nah.
Couldn't you play Doom multiplayer in the end? Didn't they bring out a multiplayer?
Surely at some point. Like Doom 64 might have had local multiplayer for sure.
Okay, I'm confusing Doom and Duke Nukem.
Nah, Doom is like either set on Mars or Hell. One of the two. It's kind of like Total Recall. And it's just hell demons and stuff. It's not Wolfenstein. Do you remember Wolfenstein?
I remember the name.
Wolfenstein was a World War II. It was one of the first-person shooters that ever existed. It sort of is the grandfather of the whole thing. And at the end of the game, you fight a robot Hitler who's got big spider legs. Like
a robot Hitler?
Yeah, because he's the bad guy in the game.
That's pretty creepy.
Uh-huh. But I never got there as a kid because I would have just played the first 2 levels over and over again.
I'm looking at some pictures of Doom. I've definitely played it, but I don't remember the first couple levels.
It's just a bunch of shooting.
And I'm looking at robot Hitler from Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
Geez, the graphics have a little bit left to be desired. I know it's one of the first.
Pretty much the most incredible graphics I'd ever seen in my life at the time. But it is crazy to think about what the games we're playing nowadays look like. Because we have romantic feelings about the games of our youth, and we thought they were beautiful to look at, and the answer is that they were.
This is how spoiled I am. I have all these awesome games, and I don't even care about them.
That's okay. If you care about other shit, that's fine.
Yeah, I do.
Well, then that's fine. You don't have to. You can't care about everything, surely.
Yeah. A lot of people are doing a lot of things.
What I could tell you is that gaming is a great medium for storytelling, for fun.
Are there any non-fiction games? Because I like to learn.
Right.
I'd like to, I even thought about playing Hearts of Iron. I was very close to buying Hearts of Iron 4.
Right.
Because I wanted to, it's about World War II, and you can play as the Germans. You could win.
Yep.
You can play as the Poles. You can play as anyone.
There's a couple of good games like that, like Crusader Kings and stuff, that has sort of those systems kind of built into it as well. They're good games for someone who wants a more historical kind of element to the game, but it's not really if you want to get into the history, you just need to play the Assassin's Creed series.
That's not what I was just thinking of.
Not pay attention to any of the bullshit stuff and just focus on the history stuff.
Yeah. Because I like the look of that Assassin's Creed Egypt one that you're playing.
Yeah, it's a shame that it's probably my least favorite of the games gameplay wise, because it wasn't like the old games. The old games were so good. But I think I've told you this before. I used to just I once gave my controller to my mum, and I was like, "You can just walk around Venice, just don't press X." You know, you can walk around, whatever century it was, 12th century or something, Venice or some shit. And she's like walking around, and she's like, "What do you mean about don't press X?" And I was like, "If you press X, you're gonna murder somebody."
Is that the attack button?
Oh, it's just like you've got a secret like blade in your wrist and your sleeve. And if you press X, you just put your left hand on their head, and then the right hand just goes straight to the neck and goes and just gives them a little see you later. Because Assassin's Creed games are fucking gnarly.
Because you're an assassin.
Yeah, no, really good games. The
So that's
Assassin's
just the kill
Creed
button.
Origins one, that's the Egypt one.
Okay.
And literally spawned into the game, and I'm like, all right, which way to the pyramids? Like, just point, and I'll go there. And I went there, and I just got wrecked because I'm not meant to be there yet.
Okay.
At that point. So you're a really low-level guy taking on some cavalry, and they just fucking wreck you. So you got to get there when you're meant to get there. But it is cool.
It looked great. And so you reckon the gameplay is just not up to scratch?
I think that if you've played it first, if it was the first one you ever played, you'd have a fine time. You'd have a great time.
Okay.
But if it's like the 5th Assassin's Creed game you've played, you can be like, why did they do it differently?
Yeah, look, I need a game, but I know I'm not going to play it. So
that's all right. Another good one is the Black Flag one. It's the pirate-themed Assassin's Creed game. Now, not much history in it for you, unfortunately, but it's a good game. What's the other good ones? They did one on Viking mythology recently, like Viking sort of history. That one is apparently a really good game.
Is that why you knew so much about Valhalla and other Viking concepts, or you just picked that up?
I'm a Viking guy. I like Vikings, not personally.
So my theory is I'm going to get to Vikings, but I'm starting with I've still got a little bit of stuff to do to finish up with Egypt. I'm still smashing Egypt. Actually, I've got so many photos still that I need to go through with you at some point.
Yeah, of course.
But once I've sort of dealt with Egypt and I've got like a grasp on that, I'm going to go to Greek, ancient Greek.
Wow.
And then I'll consider dabbling with the Romans.
Right. So they were Greeks were first, yeah.
And then I'm probably done with history. Then we just descend into madness.
History after that.
Yeah.
What, you think you've done the majors?
Well, I could deal with some. I wouldn't mind maybe dabbling in the Vikings.
It's all the same stuff.
Yeah.
Chariots in the sky.
That's what I figure, because all the Greeks just renamed the Egyptian gods, but you need to have that foundation of the stories and the knowledge and the understanding of ancient Egypt to actually make inroads into ancient Greek.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it anyway.
They're all linked, aren't they? Do you find it's always to do with stars as well, and months of the year and all that sort of stuff? It's good.
Yeah, they were obsessed with the stars, absolutely obsessed with it. And that's one thing they don't get given enough credit for. I mean, when you have north-facing the Egyptians,
yeah,
when you have north-facing structures, there's obviously astronomy.
What do you mean north-facing structures? Like, we like to talk about the Great Pyramid being as close to true north as you could possibly make it.
Yeah, they had lots of stuff facing north.
Everything?
Yeah, and they had lots of things. I mean, I guess the solstices as well, where the sun set and rose, they were pretty pumped about that. Yeah,
but that would be exciting, isn't it? I mean, if you were a city planner and you're like, the sun sets here in this month and it rises here in this month, you'd be like, oh, that's cool.
I mean, if I was
let's do something with that.
If I was given a blank slate, I wouldn't get to astronomy. I don't really look at the stars. I have no real understanding of what's going on up there. Yeah, I know how to find south using the Southern Cross. That's about the extent of it.
Yeah.
But also because you can't really see, there's not that much to see, is there? Like if you go out into the bush on a new moon and there's no lights around, you have a new appreciation for the stars.
Yeah.
But what I've got is like, I've literally got a light just like shining in my face right now. I'm like indoors.
Yeah, and I've said this before, you do get decent stars, even in Perth, because even though we're apparently the city of lights, you still get decent stars. But yeah, you have to go out to the country to get anything major. If you want some Milky Way, you got to go even further. But there's opportunities out there, man, because there's fuck all around us.
Opportunities for what?
I mean, you could just drive 3 hours in any direction.
there are. No,
except
we need
for
to
west,
do it.
and you can get some star action.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. There's a lot of opportunity here. Like if we're complaining about light pollution, 99.9% of the state is fuck all.
Yeah.
Speaking of the stars.
Stars on Mars.
Archie, I was thinking about that the other day. Someone's probably won that by now.
Yeah. What a dud.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything of it. I heard nothing about it. And people just kept leaving as well. No one was getting voted off. People just kept giving up.
Yeah. No, what were you going to say, though?
The OSIRIS-REx capsule has landed.
Yeah. They got it. It landed in Utah or something, right?
Yeah, so it's not particularly exciting. But do you know what OSIRIS stands for?
Oh, it stands for something.
Yeah, see, I've got it here. Origins,
Good.
spectral interpretation, resource identification, and security. So it's just the first letters of all of those. And then the REx stands for Regolith Explorer, the EX from Explorer. And regolith means just lunar soil.
Okay.
And, I mean, I'll chat about that. I've just got a few little, I was reading about it. It's not particularly exciting at all. But then the OSIRIS probe has headed off to its new mission.
Yeah, it's got its new next gig. Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, next gig at Apophis. And now it's called OSIRIS-APEX.
Ooh.
I don't know what APEX stands for.
Apex is probably in reference to Apophis.
Yeah, Apophis.
Kind of being
oh, you know what?
a bit of a threat.
I've got it. It's
What?
just Apophis Explorer. APEX.
Oh, yeah.
Because it doesn't have the capabilities to take a sample of this. It's just
what's it doing then?
it's just going to go check it out. It's just going to have a look at
Dart
it.
it?
No, it's not going to dart it. It's just going to have it. It's just going to get up
It's going
close
to
and
do some
personal with it.
loopies.
Yeah, a few loopies.
Right. Well, I can tell you that the Stars on Mars winner, I'm allowed to officially say this now, is Adam Rippon, the Olympic figure skater. So the guy who you thought would win.
No, I thought a chick would win. I think I changed my mind from a chick to someone.
Right.
And that Rippon guy was in the first, McLovin got voted off?
Yeah.
He was one of the guys, and he said, I'm pretty sure it was Rippon. He's the figure skater, yeah. He said,
skater.
They said, why should you say? So they're all behind the airlocks.
Right. And he said,
because I've got like the most beautiful face or something like that. He won.
He won.
I couldn't believe that he survived that elimination.
He won. And McLovin, who hates being called that,
And still
was
got
out
golded.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still got gold.
Yeah, so, I mean, space is pretty big, right?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
This OSIRIS-REx capsule, so I assume the OSIRIS-REx probe itself must have just been speeding along towards Earth. And then it must just, drop the capsule nearby because it did a flyby of Earth, the probe itself. But the capsule obviously popped off and landed in Utah. Apparently entered Earth's atmosphere at 43,450 kilometers an hour.
That's sending it.
That is like bloody Gambon, kind of speeds we're talking with.
But it's coming from space. So as soon as you say that, it's got space numbers attached to it. A million, a killion, a jillion, a tillion. Like, it could be anything. You could have said anything. You could have said it was coming in at 300,000 miles a second. And I would have been like, is that fast? And you'd say, yeah. Because it is fast. It's ripping in. I don't even know what you said. 35,000?
43,000 kilometers an hour.
43,000 kilometers an hour. Yeah, that's quite fast.
Just remember,
what's the fastest thing we can build?
In what speed?
Yeah.
Oh, it would be a lot faster than that, but I don't know what it is. But yeah, so it was a 1.9 billion kilometer return voyage. Mm-hmm. That's just the way back. That's just the one. So it's done nearly 4 billion kilometers. They're actually stressing.
That's a hell of an odo. You're going to have to get the engine looked at.
Also, normally when asteroids enter our atmosphere, they normally come in around 20,000 kilometers an hour. So this thing was actually speeding a little bit.
It was speeding because I think I've just seen here that the fastest jet goes a record 4,500 miles an hour. So it's going roughly 10 times faster than that.
Yeah, well, it was 27,000 miles per hour.
Right. You were doing kilometers an hour before.
No, I did. I switched it up for you.
Thank you. Okay, so yeah, ripping it. And it's okay. It was built for that, right? The capsule.
Yeah, it was, because, I mean, in space it can go as fast as it likes, really.
Bloody hell.
They
would have known that if that thing rips in at 43K.
Oh, yeah, when it starts ripping in.
They're like, that's fine.
Yeah, they thought it was fine, but they have these things called drogue parachutes, which are small parachutes that deploy from these crafts when they're moving at high speeds just to slow them down so that they can deploy a big parachute. Because otherwise, if you deploy a big parachute, it just rips off.
Just rips. Yeah. No, that's a Kerbal lesson. Yep, there's a Kerbal lesson in there.
Oh, really? Well, this capsule's drogue parachute didn't open.
Right.
So they were shitting themselves because they've done this 20 years of planning. They launched it in 2016. It's done 4 billion kilometers, pops in at 43,000 kilometers an hour. All of a sudden, like the last step is this chute opening just to slow it down enough to pop the big chute. And it didn't, but it was fine. And so now they're handing out little bits of soil to all the countries to have a look at.
Oh, that's nice. Bit of soil for you.
Bit of soil, yeah.
From the asteroid. Well, yeah, that's good. It's good.
And so this is the third soil mission that we've had that's brought back space rock samples, not from the moon.
Yeah.
So this is the third successful asteroid sampling mission.
Wow. We're just sampling at the moment. We're only sampling. We're trying to figure out which one our favourites are.
Once we find the one with all the minerals, all the resources.
And while we're on it, Arnott's favourites.
Yeah.
Remember Arnott's favourites?
I remember them well.
What's your favourite?
The nice one, or nice? Is it called nice?
Nice, yeah. I said nice the other night, and the guys just thought I, looked at me like I just shot their dog. Okay,
I like that one.
Can you remember any others?
I remember is it the Monte Carlo?
It's the assortments is what I'm talking about.
Oh,
the assorted. The assorted
okay, so
set.
it's a Scotch
yes,
finger.
The Monte Carlo's in there. Is that a pass or is that are you taking that or do you not
some people
want
got
that?
very excited about that. Is that the red and white filling? Or the brown
It's the reddy
filling?
one.
Yeah.
The red one, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But it's bigger. Yeah,
it's
big.
It's quite large. I used to really like that one when I was young. I don't know if I'd
Right.
pick it now.
Is that because everyone else ate all the other ones and that was all you were left with?
Nah, I thought that one was the most naughty, the most sugary.
Big,
Yeah.
The biggest one as well.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? You remember any others?
There's just the plain oval one.
Right. Plain?
Yeah, it's very plain. It's just an
Okay.
oval. There's no real. And the Scotch finger.
Yep.
Then I think there's one with chocolate in the middle, the Monte
That's
Cristo
the
or something.
Kingston.
That was my favourite for a while.
That's my favourite.
I'm drinking the Pasito. Oh, no, Passiona, sorry, that you left in my car.
Oh, really? You found that?
Yeah.
Was it just one?
Just one. I was pretty sad about
bummer.
that, actually.
I thought you got a couple.
Yeah, I was really digging under there. I found a water bottle.
Yep.
But it wasn't a Passiona.
No, a water bottle. So a bit of an archaeological find as well. Great.
Yeah.
And speaking of, we were together for the grand final at our friend's house.
We were.
Great game.
And this is what I mean about all the death and morbidity around me.
Right. Is there more?
Well, Collingwood won the grand final.
Right. Is that like a bit like dying?
A little bit.
Yeah. It was a good game.
That was a really good game. I actually have I don't have any real problems with this iteration of Collingwood.
I got no problems with any team really because I'd be basing it on 20-year-old information anyway.
But it was a great game. What were your thoughts?
Cracking game. Good day. I had a really good time at the actual day.
Good.
You know how you dropped me home? Thanks for that.
No worries.
Thanks to the wife.
Pleasure.
I was in bed by about 3 hours later.
That would have taken you to around 7:30.
7:30. Spot on.
Wow, are you feeling all right?
Splitting headache.
Oh, no.
Gnarly. Just gnarly headache, right? I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? I couldn't put my finger on why this would be happening. I hadn't changed the routine all that much. And
what was it?
I don't know. But I had this massive headache. So I finally got the guts to get out of bed at about 10:30, near 11 o'clock, and go and smash a Panadol.
Oh, you hadn't smashed a Panadol yet?
Hadn't done that yet.
Mate, all right.
Had done nothing, really, except for endure pain.
You went to bed?
Yeah, I tried to go to bed. No,
the
I
first
tried all the
step.
usual remedies. I had a shower, had a nice, long, hot shower.
Tell me you drank
fixes
some
me up.
water, please.
Should have done that.
Oh, what do you mean should have? No
Should have
water, no
done some of
Panadol.
that. I would have with the Panadol. So smash the Panadol, right?
50, like a shot of water is no.
For me, for my body, it's just like life juice. It it doesn't need a lot. I'm like a crocodile. So I had the Panadol, and about 15 seconds after I had the Panadol, I started to feel that that beautiful feeling you get in between your cheeks that says, "We're gonna vom."
Oh.
You know
in
that-
between your cheeks.
Yeah, in your mouth, it sort of like starts
Watery?
secreting something into your mouth to be like, "Hey, we're prepping up here." All right, they've just sent the word down. Yo, we got a reject package here.
Yeah, we got an emergency.
We have an emergency, like fucking all hands on deck.
Yeah, let's
kind of
water this bad boy up. Let's like lubricate the throat for the chunks to follow.
And I'm always amazed at how your body tells you need to vom. You just feel it, and you look at the toilet, and you're like, I don't usually do this.
Yeah.
I don't usually look at the toilet.
No, your head's
like
not
this.
normally in the toilet.
And then that helps. That helps the brain
does.
connect
Yeah,
that
yeah,
and
yeah.
go, oh, we're doing it. And I did it. And all I saw in there was, something, I don't want to talk about it. And the Panadol, like dissolved Panadol was just in there.
Mm.
And I went, did that again, had another one, right?
Yeah.
And then felt incredible.
That's the funny thing. After you vomit, you feel great, don't you?
Amazing. I went to
I think
sleep.
that's a natural
I went to sleep and I
biological-
went, oh, this is great. I actually had to clean myself up first, and then I went to sleep, and it was great. But let's talk about the grand final.
No, but very quick. When I used to do when you do really high intensity exercise, you can also get a sick feeling when your body's not used to it. The first 400 meter I would run in athletics every year without fail, I would vomit after it.
And you just knew as well. Like,
You
it
start
became
getting
a
that feeling.
thing,
Your body
right?
starts to, it's a natural thing when you really exert yourself. Maybe you'd been exerting yourself too much.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't think it was that.
No, but then as soon as you vomited, you feel great.
Felt amazing.
So I used to almost encourage the vomit because once like you say, once the process has begun, you know the path that you're going down.
Yeah.
And so sometimes
you have
just
to endure it as well. You
just
know that
accept
it's going to be not fun. You know that bit's not going to be fun. You're going to do it. You're going to feel better.
And I'm reading
all
this
good.
book called Atomic Habits at the moment. And they say a lot of your habits just generally
Right.
to do with your environment, and your environment can sort of trigger you to act in a habitual way, which makes a lot of sense. And I think that's what's happening when you put your head in the toilet bowl.
Yeah.
That environment is bringing back all sorts of memories and even I reckon if I put my head in the toilet bowl now, I'd probably just feel like having a vom.
Really?
Maybe.
Oh,
I've never tried it.
Okay, don't.
Because I only do it when I need a vom.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the grand final. Okay, the controversy is real about Neil not getting the free kick late in the game.
There was no advantage, right?
In that advantage was paid. And there was no, yes, you're right, there was no advantage. Because I remember thinking that was controversial at the time. We didn't dwell on it too much. I knew it was.
It was definitely an exclamation mark from many people in the room saying that's not advantage. And
it was noted. None of us were Collingwood supporters. None of us were Brisbane supporters. So I guess we moved on pretty quick.
Yes.
At work, all I'm hearing is, ask someone about the grand final, and they instantly, the first thing they say is they mention the controversy.
Yeah. And you can't base a whole game off one decision. You can't do that.
It always happens.
It delegitimizes
it always
the whole
happens.
rest of the game. Like it just makes the whole rest of the game. Oh well, what's the point? All that's going to happen is the umpires are going to either decide in your favour or not in your favour for a critical moment.
Yes,
yes. And a lot of people jumped up and down when Sheed kicked that goal in the 2018 grand final.
Exactly.
He pushed him out, and that should have been a free kick. And they would base the whole thing off that. They would be like, we were robbed because it was late in the game.
It was. The spotlight goes on to, if you've got a less than one goal game, the spotlight goes on to a 50-50 decision or a 70-30 decision, whatever it is. Yeah. It goes on hard. It's like a magnifying glass.
Yeah, but even if the AFL said, look, we've had a look and that was bad, and we want to acknowledge that, they're not going to reverse the game. They can't be like, all right, so Brisbane win.
I was reading an article about Maynard was saying that block, that non-call block that happened in 2018 was the thing that has given him the urge, the inspiration, the momentum to keep pushing for this premiership. So I think he needs to thank Willie Rioli, or was it? Yeah, it was Willie Rioli, for giving him
that shove,
the inspiration. Yes, for giving him the shove, right? Because sometimes, like, who's in a better position now, right? You've got Sheed, who's in the Wooden Spoon team, all the Eagles dwelling down there.
Man, Collingwood are so consistently making finals. Isn't it just crazy?
I know. This is what I was reflecting on. Like, it's 2018, Eagles win the grand final. 5 years later, the Eagles are the worst season in maybe AFL history, and the Pies are the premiers. Does that just reek of mismanagement?
Something's fucking up. You have to go back to 2006 before it's two non-Victorian teams in a grand final. 2006.
Is that the last time there was two non-Victorians? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. As someone who was slightly interested in the concept of a Gold Coast versus Brisbane grand final, that stood out to me. And there was a period there where it was like Brisbane, Port Adelaide. They had their moments in the early 2000s, but Collingwood's always kicking about. They're always in amongst it.
They have been of late. I remember when they were the rubbish. There was a time when they were rubbish. Hey, you've just made me think about it. Obviously, there hasn't been when there's two Adelaide teams, there's two Queensland teams, there's two WA teams. I guess we're out of options after that.
South Australia, West Australia.
You know how they call that. Yeah. There's never been a showdown grand final or a derby grand final or a Q Clash grand final. Sydney and GWS, that's the other one. That would have been close last year. I guess Sydney made it. GWS have been in a couple have been around them. Have been they've been in one grand final
amongst it.
Yeah, been amongst it the last few years. That could have been close. But do you reckon in our lifetime we'll get a crosstown rivalry grand final, non-Victorian?
Yeah, absolutely. Considering how close we came this year.
We were so close to a derby grand final.
Yeah, you're asking a lot when you say derby. I mean, if you're thinking whether or not they'll ever line up two non-Victorian teams, then 100%. But a derby grand final, that would be pretty wild.
It was maybe it was 10 years ago, around 2015. Eagles and Dockers finished 1 and 2. So if everything went to plan,
huge. Yeah.
Obviously it didn't. And I remember the year that Fremantle made the grand final, Eagles were playing in a prelim and they lost. And I was like, well, thank fuck, because I'd rather lose now than to lose to Fremantle in the grand final.
Well, you thought they were going to go all the way.
We had too much. We had too much riding on it because
Was that 2013?
I think it was. It was around there. Okay. Well, Fremantle made the GF then
against Hawthorn.
Hawthorn lost to Hawthorn.
Yep.
And then Hawthorn did the Eagles in 2015.
Yeah, so badly. That's such a people don't remember that game.
Do you know the Eagles worked their way back into that actually?
Did they?
I can tell you.
It felt like it was over at like quarter time.
It did feel like that. It did feel like that. In the previous
year, before that, Hawthorn were playing Sydney in the grand final. They kicked 5 in the first quarter, 6 in the second quarter, and at that time, the Swans had only kicked 5 goals in both quarters. So it was 75-33 at halftime. Those are not fun grand finals to watch.
No, they're terrible.
It felt that same with the Eagles. They kicked 5 straight in the first quarter, Hawthorn. Kicked another 4. We kicked 3. So at halftime, 57-26. And then we ended up losing by 40-odd points. So,
but let me tell you, so you're quite right. But now, just think about this. Jack Darling dropped a mark 30 metres out directly in front when they were 17 points down with 6 or so minutes left in the third quarter. Let's assume he kicked that goal, which he probably wouldn't have.
Hang on, what game are we talking about?
The 2015 grand final.
Yeah.
So bear with me. This is
they would have been down 40 points then at the third quarter break.
So they're down by 17.
No, they're not.
No, just listen to me. So this is during the third quarter. They're down by 17. Darling,
but they weren't.
This is during the third quarter.
But it didn't happen.
Do you have the whole worm?
Yeah.
What is it? Show me the worm.
We were never in 17-point reach, ever.
I thought we were. I thought...
Nah.
Okay, then I thought
According to this, I don't have the score worm, but...
You've got all the quarter time.
They only kicked 2 goals in the third quarter.
Because my understanding was, and what I've been regaling people with before, is that they were 17 down. Darling drops a mark, bounces off his chest. They take it down. So they're still 17. They could have been 11 down with 6 minutes to go in the third, and we've got a potential game. But it bounces off his chest, goes directly down the other side of the ground, and they kick a goal. They take it straight out of the middle. They kick another goal. They go in, 30 points down at three-quarter time. It's game over.
Okay.
What was the scoreline at the end of the third quarter?
89-39. It's 50 points.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I'm wrong. Maybe I've just deluded myself.
It's a good story though. Maybe they did because they could have kicked away there, but they could only have kicked a maximum of 5 goals because they went from 9 goals to 14 goals.
Yeah.
So even if they were on 57 points and they hadn't kicked a goal yet in the third quarter, so it was 9-3-57. The Eagles were 5-9-39. That still puts them 20 points behind, even if they hadn't kicked the 5 goals.
I would love to see. I need to see the score because I remember that they were somewhat working their way into it, and I was filthy at Darling for just not continuing the momentum because it completely reversed the momentum.
Yeah, and it is a game of momentum. Getting on a run.
And then,
brutal game.
What's the coach of Collingwood's name? Is it McRae? Something McRae?
Mm-hmm. That sounds right.
I hear he had a baby on the morning of the grand final.
Oh, he did. I thought it was one of the players. He had one.
He had a baby. Well, his wife had a baby or his partner had a baby.
Right. That would have been way more shocking if he had it.
That would have been to have a baby, then coach.
And then go out there and coach the grand final. Yeah, that would be amazing.
But I mean, even just for your partner to have a baby and go out there and coach, I mean, that's starting the relationship off on the back foot. You're already indebted.
I think it could have been a factor in winning the game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How so?
The coach goes down there and just about gets all the boys together and goes,
I had a baby.
You gotta go out there and, do your best today, lads. By the way, I'm a dad. And then they all go out there and kill for you.
I think that's a massive distraction.
Nah, I think this is what the modern game's like. They love that. We feed on good energy. We don't feed on bad energy anymore. We feed on good energy now.
They just let's get out there.
There was a time when all those guys would have just shit themselves. Well, they probably did shit themselves. They're probably shitting themselves all the time when they're playing in a grand final. But It's that old, go out there and have fun. It's not your job or anything. It's great. And did you watch you didn't see Kiss perform? I didn't see it live, but I have watched it afterwards.
I saw a couple little bits. You saw it?
I watched it later.
Okay. How was it? What happened?
Kiss just performed a few songs.
Yeah.
It's always amazing that they can just run out all that gear, get the show up. 12 minutes later, they got to get rid of it all because of the game starting.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is impressive. It's almost like a play. You know where the plays change scenes real quick?
Yeah, big set change. But I think they should probably get Australian artists to perform. That's just me, though. But I think Kiss were just in town and they went, you know what? Have some money.
Yeah, they seem to always make the decision very late, don't they?
Just seeing what's out there. That's funny.
So I'm trying to find a score worm. I really want to see when the moment that Darling blew it.
I couldn't find it in the official sort of like the Wikipedia of the grand final.
It's all right. One day. Hey, so we've been worried for a while that the robots are taking over.
I'm not worried.
You're not now?
I'm not worried at all.
I thought we agreed we were both worried.
No, I'm ready to give up ultimate control.
Oh, good. Oh, well, we actually need some people like you because there's this, I was chatting to someone recently who had some surgery and he had surgery via a robot and it's called the Da Vinci robot.
Right.
Get a photo of that up. It looks pretty gnarly. It's got 4 arms.
Yep.
And
okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah, it looks straight out of Star Wars.
It does, doesn't it?
It does.
And it's got incredible accuracy and dexterity.
Yep. Who's controlling the arms?
Okay, that's where you come into it.
Me?
Yeah, you need gamers. I'd say they have these idiot doctors using it. I'll just send you something in general.
Yeah.
Maybe pop that up and we'll watch it. It's the Da Vinci robot doing surgery on a grape.
Okay. So at 5 seconds it's playing. All right. Oh my God. Look at this thing.
So the doctor sits behind, sits I don't know, in front of like a tie. It's like he's got, I assume, a gaming console or something.
Has he got goggles on?
He sits behind, he sits like, he watches a screen. He sits really close to it.
I mean, I know this is a grape, but it's still creepy as fuck.
Wait, for some reason I can't.
I'm not playing audio. Well, there's no audio with it.
Okay, I've got it now. Yeah, so they're peeling the skin off this grape. Look at this.
And how is he controlling this? You haven't sort of...
Okay, I don't think you can see that here, but he sits...
There it is. He's got the dial.
Yeah, he's got this little... He puts his head in that little unit, blocks out light or whatever.
What if he slips?
No, you don't slip.
What do you mean you don't slip?
I don't know. You just don't. But this
is... Because to me, it still looks like he's doing it. He's just using the robot as its...
Yeah, well, it's different. You're not going to have any shaking.
Well, yeah, but what if he shakes?
The computer, it's like stabilizing. It's like image stabilization when you're drunk using your video.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah,
so
that's
I think, but I want a gamer doing that.
He is a gamer at that point.
At that point, but I don't want like me using a machine like that on somebody. I shouldn't be allowed to do it.
I don't want me using it.
No, but you can play Super Mario.
No. The only
you
reason
can play Assassin's Creed.
No. See, I fancy myself as a bit of a pilot.
Do you?
Yeah, like aeroplanes, helicopters, space flight, you name it. I'll fly it.
Why?
Because I've played a lot of games where I fly planes. But I've also crashed a lot of planes, and I haven't been successful on a lot of things because I've given the freedom of not dying to perform certain aerospace moves because I'm not scared of dying because it's a video game. So I fancy myself as a bit of a pilot. Yeah, chuck me in a jet. I'll fly it.
You're saying you'd be trying to do like 360s with the grape and barrel rolls. And you're trying to be doing tricks like party tricks.
You don't want gamers in there. You want trained professionals.
I also think it might be it's not as exciting as a video game, is it? Like I've seen video games. I watch people.
I'd get bored by it, wouldn't I?
I reckon you have to power up the scissors so that you get like bigger, better scissors. So like you have to, as you like do better lines, it goes, and then they give you a laser beam, right? And now you're cutting with the laser beam.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty fun to like finish a mission on Grand Theft Auto. That's pretty fun and exhilarating, right? But imagine saving a human life. How exhilarating that would be. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to be this type of gamer now, because maybe that's what I need to be doing. The gaming, there's got to be some positive.
Okay, maybe
there's got to be something positive that can come out of this.
Maybe we can just dress up.
Yeah.
Like you're doing surgery, but we dress you're doing it. You're playing a game. But they dress it up with so many bells and whistles and lights and sounds and gameplay and story that like you actually don't know what you're doing.
Well,
you could be saving a person's life, but like a pinball machine. But you've peeled the grape.
Again, if we're talking about robot surgery, right, and me gaming robot surgery, at that point, I don't need the bells and whistles because the reward is saving a human life.
But you could become a robot surgeon and you don't.
Yep. It's good though.
No, but it's more fun, to play League of Legends. Let's not fuck
If
around.
only there was a way to play video games and save lives at the same time.
But you get paid a lot more for doing those video games.
Right,
You
those
get paid
particular ones.
Big time.
Yeah, look, I think get the doctor out of there. I think get the doctor out of there. What do you think?
Who's going in?
Just pop a chip in.
Oh, pop a chip in. But the chip doesn't know enough about the grape anatomy.
No. Chip knows. Chip's cool, man. Chip's cool. No, bring on the future. I like this thing.
You know how I was telling you that they...
Would you be scared if that was operating on you? That would be frightening.
Well, the guy who had the operation had those 4 things that were operating on the grape. They had to cut open his stomach in 4 places so the instrument could get in. So it's keyhole surgery, but there's 4 of them. And then the little scissors are in there on the inside, cutting away at your organs.
It looks like the bad guy. It looks like Darth Vader's little interrogation unit that he brings in and
it does.
Zaps Han Solo with.
Yeah, if that was floating in the sky like a droid, you'd be terrified.
Yep. That's the future. We're coming.
It's pretty terrifying. So we were talking a few weeks ago about how I was quite surprised that they were still investigating the Tupac murder.
Yes,
they've made an arrest. They've made an arrest. Dwayne Keefe D. Davis.
Yeah. And was he on the suspect list? He must have been, right?
Apparently he's the only suspect still alive.
Wow.
So his nephew got in a casino fight with Tupac.
Yep.
And then
he allegedly has procured a gun and made the plan to go and shoot him later that night.
That's it. So it's interesting because it's been a long time. Apparently Tupac
makes
died
me want to
25.
rewatch that Tupac half documentary, half TV series again because it was really well made.
Oh, I haven't seen it. What is it?
Oh no, I'll have to try and find it for you because it's worth a watch, and it could be interesting to watch it now with what we've just learned.
Yeah. No, I'd be very. Yeah. I'm interested for 2 reasons. Get this. This is a quote from a BBC News article I read.
Yep.
Tupac Shakur only released 4 albums in his lifetime before his life was tragically cut short. And then a lot more text. I'll get to that. But then as of today, Shakur has 21 albums to his name, 10 of which have gone platinum. What is going on?
What do you mean?
This
Same
guy's
with
releasing
Hendrix.
albums from beyond the grave. He released 4 albums in his lifetime.
Yes.
He's got 21 now.
Yes.
10 of them have gone, what the fuck is happening?
That's normal. That's pretty normal.
Do you reckon
young.
our podcast would pop off if like something tragically happened to us, like we went down in a drive-by shooting? Would our podcast just go nuts?
Yeah, quite possibly. It would probably go triple platinum, and they'd find other episodes that we didn't even know we released.
Oh, so there'll be like 450 episodes.
There'll be 600 episodes.
Yeah. So get
and
this
the
as well
live
very
special
quickly.
and the lost tapes.
The lost tapes. And also we'll just get AI to start churning out. They'll just use AI. Yeah. Okay, so this is more from the BBC News article. His third studio album, Me Against the World, reached number 1 in the US Billboard 200. While he was in prison on rape charges in 95, he was visited by Marion Sugi Knight, the head of Death Row Records.
Suge Knight.
Suge?
Yeah. That's his name.
Who gave Shakur a proposition. Well, firstly, when the head of Death Row Records is visiting you in prison on rape charges, I mean, this is some pretty wild stuff. Knight would post the £1 million bail Tupac needed to be released pending his appeal, but only if he signed for the label. The agreement was made, and the result was Tupac's 4th studio album, All Eyes on Me.
Great album.
Which featured Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. Etc. So he was only 25 when he died, but he's done some shit.
Yeah. Same as Hendrix, though. He died pretty young, 27-ish.
Yeah, he didn't even make the 27, 28, cut off.
He didn't make
for all
it.
These.
But he made a lot of albums.
Yeah.
And so did a lot of those guys. A lot of posthumous stuff.
But I think that's put a fork in me.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
Is that me or you? Yeah. Thank you. Well, yeah, I will pat myself on the back.
Yeah, and we will be back next week.
Oh, if I can just end on one quote, and maybe we should. This is a Tupac quote, which I really like, but maybe we can quote me, and I can just take it because he won't mind, right?
I think they would, but yeah, go on.
Death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what dies inside while still